All right, man. You know, the Pistons can get Kawhi Leonard now. Apparently, we can go over the history about what happened to Joe Smith Jr. Um, so there's only a few teams that have significant cap space left. I don't know when this date was. Hold on, let's go to cap tracker. So Kawhi Leonard is may not get suspended for his thing for his hand in the suspension under the for getting paid under the table, and I'm gonna explain that once again and get into the history. So right now, um, so I'm trying to see. So right now, the only teams that have significant cap space, that have positive cap space, is um, Brooklyn, Memphis, and Chicago. Most of that's ate up. Okay. Um, Most of that's ate up. Okay. Um, Now, because and it's hard to dump salary, but in general, to go to the Joe Smith thing, right? Um, so, so I think so. Let me go over this real quick. So, there may be a small chance the Pistons still can get Kawhi, right? Small. So it says the Joe Smith 200 million likely also, excuse me. I said 2000s. I meant 2000s. Hold on. So in 2000, Joe Smith, Minnesota Timberwolves, who at the center of one of the biggest salary cap scandals in the NBA history, a team secretly, promised Joe Smith a future lucrative contract to take lower salaries on the short-term deals. Once the NBA discovered the under-the-table agreement, they voided Smith's contract, strips the Timberwolves of 5 first-round picks, and fined the franchise $3.5 million. It said the secret deal and penalties, because Smith accepted the bargain 1-year deal from 98 to 2000. The Timberwolves were attempting to hold on to his bird rights, which would eventually allow them to re-sign him to a massive long-term contract without being restricted by the salary cap. Because when you got somebody bird rights, you can go over the salary cap to pay them. However, the league discovered that Smith's agent in the Timberwolves front office had a legal prearranged 7-year, $86 million contract mapped out in advance. As a direct result, circumventing the salary cap, commissioners David Stern handed down the following penalty. The contract voided. Smith's contract was completely voided. He was stripped of his bird rights and declared a free agent, which led him temporarily sign with the Detroit Pistons. Draft pick loss. Minnesota was stripped of 5 consecutive first round draft picks from 01 to 2000, though 2 were eventually returned. Fine suspension of franchise fined and an NBA record $3.5 million. I'm pretty sure that was the time. And owner Glenn Taylor was suspended for a year, and general manager Kevin McHale took a leave of absence, which was unpaid, by the way. Would you like to know? Okay, that's about it. So for the most part, looking at that situation, last time this happened, the Pistons landed the guy who got in trouble. Now, for the most part, this is a little bit different because they didn't necessarily pay him under the table. So this one may be, Kawhi may be in a little bit more trouble because he got paid allegedly under the table from another company that circumvented, that funneled money under the table to him. And he didn't do these shows. He was no shows. He was supposed to do these like shows, this work for this tree company. So they signed this deal where he's supposed to do this work and show up and, do these press events. And they basically allegedly saying that he never showed up to do any of the work. And they basically gave him money for nothing to circumvent the salary cap. In Joe Smith's situation, he was just, taking less, and he was promised some money on the back end, right? So it was, it wasn't nowhere near as bad as this. So Kawhi could be suspended about this, and this can be worse. But we know David Stern ain't here no more, and Adam Silver not as tough. But he got to be tough on this because apparently when they was talking about making this deal with the Clippers and the Raptors was told that LA they was cool to make this deal, and the Clippers had already came out and said, "Hey, guess what? We don't want to re-sign Kawhi anyway." cool. We don't want, and I think maybe they found something in the investigation, and also that's sound like admit of guilt by them saying they didn't want to keep Kawhi in LA, right? So in general, right now, if he hits the free agent market, not many teams can sign him. Maybe he would have to sign for the veteran minimum. I'm not sure. Maybe he might get suspended. But if he gonna sign somewhere for the veteran minimum, to be honest with you, he's probably going to sign with the Lakers now, or he's going to sign with a very small deal, the veterans minimum, or whatever they can offer him, whatever exceptions they got him with a team. Now he still be able to, pick the team that he literally wants to go to. You know what I'm saying? He is still going to be able to pick that team, but in general, maybe the Pistons can woo him, and maybe they might, be able to make him some promises down the road, legal promises. But in general, most likely, nobody can really offer him that much money. So it's going to be, the mid-level exception. I'm not sure if the Pistons have done that yet. Let's see. So he's going to sign somewhere for the mid-level exception. So the mid-level exception is allows the team to go over the salary cap to sign a player more than the minimum salary. So the non-minimum, the non-taxpayer minimally for teams over the cap, but below the first apron is $15 million. So I believe the Pistons is still under the first apron, over the first apron, under it. Taxpayers mid-level stuff for teams above the first is 6. So they somebody may offer him 15 to 9 to 15 million. So there may be a small opportunity for the Detroit Pistons to actually sign him. There may be a small opportunity for them to sign him. So, maybe they can get in the room with him free agent wise and tell them this, that, and the third. It'll be on a 1-year deal. And then you would have to figure out how to pay him, down the road. But Kawhi going to be either suspended, because this situation is worse than his situation is worse than Joe Smith Jr., if you ask me. But the commissioner is a lot more lenient than David Stern was at this point. Or he gonna, I don't know, man. It's a small chance that it still may happen, in my opinion. It's a small chance that it still may happen. Maybe the Pistons have enough money to offer him and they can get in the room and talk to him. Or he may just strictly sign back to Toronto for the mid-level exception or whatever he can. And then, next year they figure it out. So, so Toronto may end up getting him for absolutely giving up nothing, and they may move Brandon Ingram somewhere else. So maybe you may benefit from this and get Brandon Ingram. Maybe you may benefit from this and get Kawhi Leonard. But I thought it was just interesting. I thought it was an interesting conversation to have, in my opinion. But hey, check out Detroit Piston Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance. Get notifications. We go live or drop video. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.